everyone, back to tuning into today's bird video. We're going to have a look at the weather for 10 to 14 days. For today's bird video, day 10 will take us to the 25th of March, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We're at GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe on Stratospheric Links. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us in towards the middle of April. I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say that first. The video says our 6 UK weather forecast, and we'll also release the ECM GWV 42-day forecast for UK and Ireland. Check out those 2 bits if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Running a bit late today, had a busy morning. So, no weekend forecast this week. It should be back though next week. We only need to put on around 10 subscribers to get ourselves to 19.6k. So if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much everyone. And I hope you're having a lovely Saturday. Right, let's do this then. We're going to start off in the stratosphere. So this is how temperatures are currently looking at 10 HPA over the Arctic and the North Pole versus the long-term seasonal averages. So, of course, we've had these sudden stratospheric warming events. It's actually still ongoing, but the temperature at 10 HPA has come down by about 10 degrees. So we reached about minus 20 at the peak of this SSW. We're now down to about minus 30. And that is well above the minus 50 where you'd expect us to be at this point in March. If we go a little bit lower down to 30 HPA, temperature's dropping a little bit there as well. We did actually go up very close, about minus 25 at one point, and that's about minus 75. So really dramatic warming at 30 HPA. So we're currently somewhere around minus 35, a little bit lower than that, probably about minus 37, something like that. But still well above average, and, you know, this point in March, the grey line shows that we should be close to about minus 60. So further warming is on the way. In fact, further warming is starting to develop over Russia as we speak. This is the latest GFS run. And that intensifies as we go through the next couple of days. You have vibrant red colours moving from Russia actually into the North Pole itself. So that's like a secondary SSW developing there. And that's just going to reinforce a reversal of solar winds and all of the effects in the stratosphere of the first SSW. No, that will kind of reinforce it. We get to the 23rd of March, and temperatures beginning to come down, of course. By then, we can't maintain those very warm temperatures in the stratosphere very long. Another warming there focused on Scandinavia, the UK, which is a rather strange place for stratospheric warmings to be occurring. But overall, it looks like the stratospheric polar vortex is done for. There's no sign of it there at all, actually, by the end of March. So this does look as though it will actually be the final reversal of the solar winds and the final warming of the stratosphere of the season, happening very, very early. This is from Weather is Cool. So with the solar wind, we reverse it down to about minus 20 ms. We're currently about here. The GFS ensembles are getting very close to the 0 line. We might just about 24 hours or something go positive with the solar wind. But then when that second warming that's starting now moves back into the pole in a few days' time, early next week, GFS ensemble show that the solar wind sort of drops again. So at some point this weekend, the solar wind might just go ever so slightly positive, like +1 or +2 ms. And the next day, it's back negative again. Then it tries to come back up again, and then it falls again as we come towards the end of March. There's no sign really of the solar wind going back into a positive phase, coming out of, you know, reversal. Not for a sustained period anyway, you know, not for more than like 24 hours or something in March. So, as I say, this could well be the final warming and the final reversal. And the final reversal of the stratosphere for this season. We're still waiting to see whether we get a tropospheric response. There are signs that we might be going to get a tropospheric response in April in today's extended ECM GWV 42 day, so check that one out if you'd like to do that. We'll keep you updated on all things stratosphere wise. Right, let's have a look at the latest weather map wind flow map from earthnorschool.net. So high pressure has been up around Iceland and Greenland, giving us those cold northerly northeast winds last few days, has started shifting southwards. It's sitting more or less over the top of the country now. We are still bringing quite a chilly northeast wind. This is a cold core ridge. So we will keep cold nights going where skies are clear. But by day, as we cut off that northerly wind, we are going to start seeing things becoming a little bit less cold and milder. Central temperature, provisional to yesterday, to the 14th of March, is coming out at 7.1. That is 1.4 degrees above 61 to 1990 average. That's provisional to yesterday to the 14th. So that's coming down, will probably continue to come down actually as we continue to have further quite cold nights for the next few nights. So these were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Looking at London today, red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, so below average with those upper air temperatures at the moment. They're going to come up into the middle of next week, going slightly above average, and then starting to fall as we go into the last week of March. And so close to average, quite a bit of scatter within that, but most of our members look like they're trending into a cooler or a colder direction, though, as we come to the closing days of March. Precipitation-wise, can be like dry weather for the next week, but from about the end of next week into next weekend onwards, we start to pick up more precipitation spikes, and the last week of March is actually looking quite unsettled, with a fair few precipitation spikes coming through them. Temperature anomalies, next 5 days, taking us up to the 20th of March, are coming out slightly colder than average. In the 6 to 10 day time frame, we see the temperature anomaly recovering. This gets us to the 25th of March, and we're above average with the temperature anomaly then. And in the 10 to 14 day time frame, the temperature anomaly starts to come down. So down, up, down, which is kind of indicative of spring. Really, you know, it is a changeable season, especially early on with temperature and also synoptic and pressure fluctuations. Precipitation anomalies next 7 days, getting us to the 22nd of March, are dry over north, particularly so up in the north, and in the 4 to 10 day time frame, dry over normal in the north, nearer normal further south, and what we go a bit further out, 8 to 14 day. Then we're close to average, except for Western Scotland, where it's dry over normal. Okay, let's start going through chart data then. Let's have the latest UK Met Euro run. It's looking big night on Tuesday. So the high pressure that's like just to the west of the UK line today will be to the east of us on Tuesday. And that will start to bring in more of a southerly southeasterly flow. So through to the middle of next week, we'll lose the cold nights as well, and lift the temperature up by day back to the mid-teens, and mostly dry conditions as well until we get to the very end of the week and into next weekend, when low pressure starts to advance in from the south and west and could bring some showery outbreaks of rain with it. Icon, again, mostly dry and mild, and potentially very mild through the middle of next week. And then at the end of next week and into next weekend, we find low pressure starting to come in from off the Atlantic, and so it looks like we're turning more unsettled by next weekend again with with Icon. And KMA, all much of a muchness, with that high pressure through most of next week. We're going to cut off low down towards Spain and Portugal. That starts to move northwards by next weekend, turning things more unsettled, especially so further south, and then low pressure deepening around Norway as we get to and just beyond day 10, and that starts to bring in, well, briefly anyway, a much colder northerly flow for a high pressure bend to the southwest starts to return us back to the southwest. So there's a little bit of a cold snap showing up there, but not like genuine northern blocking or anything like that up to the 27th of March. What about GFS? So again, much of a muchness. We've been next week mostly dry and mild. Low pressure gradually pushing northwards at the end of next week and into next weekend, bringing showery outbreaks of rain, and then turning genuinely unsettled through next week with GFS midnight run. So that's next Sunday, 23rd of March, just beyond a week out, and we're under a 990 millibar area of low pressure bed. So looking very unsettled with plenty of wet weather rotating around that area of low pressure, and we keep the unsettled weather going into the closing days days of March as well. So really unsettled sort of final week to 10 days or so, or certainly final week of March with the GFS. Always bringing up wind from southwest, though, so always looking pretty mild. But GFS 6 there, by comparison, looks like that. So again, we've got high pressure slipping away to the east. Low pressure is out to the west, middle and second half next week. So turning more unsettled at the end next week and into next weekend. Under a proper area of low pressure there by day 10, 25th of March, 985 millibar, just to the west of Ireland. Still mild with winds from southwest, but certainly plenty of wet weather rotating around that low. And remember, low shifts eastwards. Actually, that pulled down a cold and northerly wind there. That's the 27th of March. Kind of similar to what KMA is showing. So a bit of a cold snap at the end of March before we bat the wind around. We try to the southwest, but still looking pretty chilly actually. There's a dip in the jet stream going on there. We're setting the jet stream on northwest southeast line. Remember, the black line is the rough position of the jet on these charts. So colder air coming in from the north and from the northeast. Milder air trying but failing really head in from the Atlantic. That could be the beginnings of the pattern shifting after the strat warm. You know, it's not showing genuine northern blocking, but maybe that is the start of the tropospheric response. We'll have to wait and see. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Make sure to everyone forward doing that. Why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe too. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. 10 subscribers gets us 19.6k, so if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. And if you can afford to do so, please do consider giving a donation to GavsWeatherVids via our PayPal page as well. So the link to this is in the description with the video. All you need to do is go into a PayPal page, sign into a PayPal account, donate whatever donation you would like to GavsWeatherVids. We'll give you a shout out in the video, so you'll be helping to pay for the channel and for me to do the content for everyone. So thank you so much everyone for the support and for doing that. Thank you so much. So much. Okay, GM again. High pressure is dominating the weather. I'm certainly bringing loads of dry weather through into. Oh, hang on, no, I've done it again, haven't I? Oh no! This is a real Gav moment. This is still Thursday's update, and I did this yesterday? I did this yesterday, didn't I? On the 10th of 40 down. I just saved it. I'm going to save it again, but I can't believe I've done it again. I completely forgot to get the charts up. I'm going to check the timestamp. There's the timestamp, everyone. Don't know if anyone's noticed that. There are the timestamps. Just there. So that's when the runs are initiated, and that is when the run is for. And I've done it again. Dixie Gav. I don't know, do you? Somebody said I'm an airhead the other day. I had a comment, let's say, you're such an airhead, Gav. And to be honest, like, I removed the comment because it's a bit unkind, but to be honest, Gav is an airhead, isn't he? Okay, well, that was embarrassing. Never mind. Okay, we can pull this out the fire, babe. This is the G. Nobody does it like Gav, babe. That's the thing. Nobody's nobody on the website is quite such an airhead as Gav. That's a good thing or a bad thing? I know. No, this is Mr. GM updating at Matacella. Today, 15th of March, and there's been a valid time frame. Right, well, let's start off at 72 hours. So, high pressure over to the east of the country. Forget all that happened. High pressure's over to the east of the country on Wednesday, and then low pressure to us now. Oh, this has got a proper blocking signal, hasn't it? When we get to next weekend. So we're starting to build pressure quite strongly around Greenland. This road trying to come up from south, bringing probably quite a bit of heavy rain with, but there might actually be a bit of snow on the northern edge of that, on the boundary. Oh, turning properly cold, but I'm glad I showed this. Turning properly cold with the gem around days 8, 9 and 10. Goodness gracious me. Winds in from the north-northwest. That could deliver a little bit of snow, would you believe, if that came off. So quite a wintry turn of events here with the gem, really building up that pressure around Greenland there. So turning colder and unsettled, maybe with a little bit of snow with the GEM. around days sort of 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, ECM. So it's high pressure again, 2 hour east on Tuesday. And then low pressure is out to the west and the south at the end of the week. Into next weekend, more unsettled, not especially cold, but certainly a lot more unsettled there next weekend under low pressure. And then some cold air starting to come in from the north as the low pressure begins to shift eastwards as we get to day 9. Oh, day 10 looks quite interesting. That's Tuesday the 25th of March. Low pressure sort of slipping southwards and bringing in a northerly flow. That could deliver a little bit of snow as well. Then we're under high pressure. It's going to be quite a cold ridge, at least to start off with. And trying to get high pressure back to the north again by the end of the ECM run, with winds coming in from the north. So into the last week of March, turning colder here with both the GEM and also the ECM and the GFS 6M run. So there is a bit of evidence here, isn't there, for a colder turn of events. You know, so the support seems to be growing and gathering, but as we go through this last week of March, there could be a shift into a colder pattern. And again, that might be strat related. It might not. You know, there's no way of 100% definitively knowing that one thing is leading to another thing or one thing is causing another thing, but a suspicion definitely would be after such a strong strat swarm, if we did start getting blocking and colder weather late March and into April, that is indeed, like a tropospheric response to the strat warm. Bits of precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Spread.com. Lots of dry weather to come over the next few days, but by the end of next week it starts to turn showery out to the northwest, and into weekend looking quite unsettled. Next weekend, I should say, looking quite unsettled with low pressure and showery spells of rain as well. Remember, cold air starts to dig in from the north around day 9, so shall be into wintering, certainly in the northern half of the country. And yeah, look at that. That's like 234 to 240 hours. That's getting to day 10. And there is some snow in the mix there, even down in the south and the southeast. Probably an outlier in terms of snow anyway, but just to show you what is still possible if it gets into a genuinely cold pattern at this time of the year. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10 for the isolated metals. It gets us to the 25th March. 24 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure way to the northwest, low pressure to the south, and winds are coming in from the north and from the northeast. So unsettled in the south, mostly dry in the north, and colder as well there. 24 are going in that direction, including control the operational run. 16 with low pressure southeast and a mid-Atlantic ridge. That's probably turning colder as well. And then 11 with high pressure over just the west of the country. Should be a lot of dry weather with that. It could be a bit chilly though. Winds coming in from the east. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Goodness gracious me, 18 members of the ECM ensemble going for massive amounts of northern blocking here with low pressure south. That's probably bringing the wind from the east there. Another 18 with mid-Atlantic ridge up towards Green and a trough over to the south of the country. That looks quite cold and potentially rather wintry. And 15 with high pressure out in the Atlantic. And we're bringing down chilly or quite cold northerly. All the options there actually look potentially cold in 2 weeks out, and probably most of them in 10 days' time as well. So lastly with CFS V2, and then we'll get things wrapped up. These are 500 millibar high times bring down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 15th to the 21st of March. The next week we have low pressure out to west, high pressure is to the east, and winds coming in from a milder southerly type direction this week. Week 2 is going to be the 22nd to 28th of March, low pressure to the south, high pressure in the Atlantic and to our northeast. So that's still quite unsettled in the south, probably, but it's gradually getting more blocked. And then week 3 will be 29th of March to the 4th of April. High pressure just to the south of Greenland, low pressure over Scandinavia, and we're very close to bringing in a northern wind, bit on the periphery with that, but probably turning colder. And then week 4 is the 5th to the 11th of April. High pressure really blocking around Greenland, low pressure down towards Spain, and winds could well be coming in for cold north or northeasterly direction, suggesting the potential for a cold first half to April there. with the CFS. Remember, cold is all comparative, so obviously the first half of April, if it's cold, it won't be as cold as if first half of January was cold, but, you know, to average, that is probably a cold of an average first half to April that we're seeing there. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Please be kind. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe too. And I thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Just 10 subscribers. I mentioned it. Gets us 1946k. So please give us a sub. Thanks so much, everyone. Right, okay. Well, that's it for today's video. Sorry about weekend forecast. I've been busy this morning. I've got to get on with a summer update later on as well. So I just don't have time for weekend this week. It'll be back next week, hopefully. I just said what's happening on the channel tomorrow, so I just hinted at it. So at 6 a.m, we are going to have a 6 a.m. broadcast. Then we'll have a second update for summer 2025, and we'll be live at 6 p.m. We attain a board team down. Sure, we'll include some long range in the live as well. So keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and bye for now.